The giant Kaiju. Let's go with that. The giant Kaiju issue number 2 from Image Comics. Obviously, that's not the name of the series, but yeah, I feel weird saying the name of the series, so I'm just gonna go with the giant Kaiju. Speaking of weird, weirdness pretty much goes hand in hand with this series. So in the first issue, a giant kaiju comes out of the San Francisco Bay, goes into the city, and starts destroying it by having sex with everything and pooping all over everything. And no, that's not hyperbolic. That's literally what happens. And we even get a quick recap of that, which you can see here. And that's how this issue starts. It starts with more kaiju sex. Basically, the kaiju is going around shoving its giant kaiju penis into buildings and humping it and shooting its load until the buildings collapse. And then going around spying on people having sex inside said building. I guess this giant kaiju is a peeping Tom. And cock blocking those people by shoving its penis where it doesn't belong and destroying more buildings. And as this is going on, this kaiju is also releasing these pheromones that are making everybody horny. So everyone starts having sex with each other. Yeah, that's what happens in this series. None of this is hyperbolic. This is literally what's going on in this series. I told you, it's weird. So yeah, we have this one guy, Frank, our main character. He's a scientist. I guess he was working on some kind of big project. It was a giant mech, and the government wants him to get involved in fighting this giant kaiju by using this giant mech, and only he can pilot it because only he has put in any kind of time whatsoever in piloting this thing, or at least I guess doing test runs or something. It doesn't really make all that much sense, because if the government had a giant mech that they were still working on even when this guy left, they would obviously have people like training to use it and stuff like that. But whatever, just for the sake of the plot, Frank is the only one that can pilot this giant mech. And so he decides to go with the government into this giant building called headquarters, which is a giant penis. Yeah, the base is just one gigantic penis building, and the government is in there. And of course, we have a bunch of penis jokes. Like, I thought budget cuts got a firm grip on this building and choked everything out of it. Wasn't it emptied out? No, there's still plenty of semen in here. Army and Marines too. So yeah, we get a bunch of penis jokes because giant penis. A lot of penises in this. We got kaiju penises. We got human penises. We have building penises. Lot of penises. And speaking of penis, we have a scene where the giant kaiju grabs a bus and breaks it in half, and chucks one half away, dumps the passengers and the other half into its mouth, and then now that it has the empty half of a bus, it shoves its penis into it and uses it as a fleshlight. Yeah, that happens. What am I reading? What is going on in comics where I'm reading about a giant kaiju shoving its penis into everything and just destroying everything with its poop and its penis and its kaiju load? Oh my god. Ugh. This is the thing. This is the thing that's going on in a pretty big... Like, I would understand if this is like an independent comic or just, you know, some kind of really small-time comic series. But from Image, modern-day Image, a series about a giant kaiju going around San Francisco killing everyone by literally crapping on them and destroying buildings with its giant kaiju penis and drowning people in this giant kaiju sperm. I just okay. We even have like more pages spent on this than necessary of pilot fighters, jet fighters, who are supposed to like come in and try to launch missiles at this giant kaiju, and they one of them is called Italian Ice, and the joke is that he's not actually Italian, he's Irish, and his wingman gets pissed off at him for that because it's cultural appropriation that you're using a Italian Ice call sign when you're actually Irish. And yeah, we get like 3 pages of this before the kaiju takes a huge dump, picks up its giant green turd, and then throws it at the fighter pilots, and one of them crashes into a building. So yeah, we got just more people being killed by giant kaiju poop. That's pretty much what this entire series has been. This entire series has just been a kaiju killing people with its poop and with its giant kaiju penis. And we have some guy who's like super depressed, and I guess he's like, you know, separated from his wife, and they're like having some kind of divorce problems. And he was the only one that predicted that something like this was going to happen. And so he built a giant mech, and no one believed him. So he kind of ruined his life. And now they want him to come back and pilot this giant mech to fight this giant kaiju who's literally screwing them over. I other than just like the crazy random weirdness and just the lowbrow humor, I mean, don't get me wrong, I can laugh at poop jokes, but it's just, there's nothing subtle about any of this. It's just right in your face, like, hey, here's a giant penis, isn't that funny? Hey, look, this building looks like a giant shaft with 2 giant balls, and it's called headquarters. It's a secret headquarters, and it's just called headquarters, and we're gonna make some semen jokes. Do you get it? Semen, because of the army and the military and the navy are involved. And hey, look at this giant kaiju, and it's having sex with this building. Isn't this funny? I know we did this in the first issue, and we're just going to keep doing the same joke over and over again. Is it funny like the 20th time we've done this? Yeah, that's the thing with this. Like, I don't mind the jokes. It's just, it's run its course. It ran its course in the first issue. The first issue was literally the giant kaiju pooping and having sex with things. And now we're at the second issue, and the kaiju is still just pooping and having sex with things. It's like, okay, are we going to do anything else? What's the third issue going to be? Is the third issue going to be the giant kaiju pooping and having sex with things until the mech shows up, and then it's going to poop and try to have sex with the mech? Is that what's going to happen? How much you want to bet that the third issue is going to be this giant kaiju trying to have sex with this mech? Any takers? It's just, I don't mind the poop and sex jokes. It's just, that's all this is. This entire series is just poop and sex jokes. And it's like, are there any other jokes we can run with? Is there anything else that we can do? How many times are we going to run this joke into the ground? I know we're only 2 issues in, but it's 2 issues of just the same freaking joke over and over again. How many times can we talk about this giant kaiju shoving its penis into things? So yeah, there's the giant kaiju, issue number 2 from Image Comics. It's basically taken a not so great joke, haha, poo poo pee pee penis, and just ran it into the ground. And we're only 2 issues in. I can't imagine what we're gonna be like by the time this series concludes. Hopefully we get some new material next time. But there you go. There's the giant kaiju, issue number 2. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.